and right now we are living in very difficult times. So I wanted to really talk about mental illness, and especially with all of this social distancing and quarantine and self-isolation and all of this, I just feel like this would be the perfect time to talk about it, especially with the coronavirus, we already know. So this video is going to be split up into 3 parts. The first part, I'm going to be talking more about myself and my experience with this social distancing and how this is affecting my mental health. Then I'm going to be talking about how social distancing just affects mental health in general. And then the third part is going to be talking about what we can do and like resources and stuff like that. And I'm also going to be filming this differently. First of all, I'm home, obviously, in my my parents' home. And I'm going to be doing like a get ready with me because I have not done my makeup, done my hair, really showered that much this entire time. So let's get into it. So my school is in New York and we're doing online classes. And originally the online classes were only supposed to last a week. That's what they told us. They didn't want to shut down the entire time. So I was like, I'm not gonna fly. I go to school in New York, but I live in Chicago. So I was like, I'm not gonna fly back if I'm just gonna come home in a week. I thought that was a waste of money and time. So I was like, let me just stay. But then literally all my friends started leaving the dorm and I just started feeling super lonely. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I don't see myself showering. I was like, I don't see myself showering. I don't see myself actually doing anything productive, grooming myself, whatever. Because there's literally like no one's gonna see me. And then my mom was like, come home. So now I'm home and it's way better that I'm surrounded by family and like a supportive family, because I know not everybody has that during this time. I don't know what look I'm gonna do. So I'm very grateful that I have such a supportive family. But yeah, being around people is so essential to just basic human behavior. And we're kind of forced to be alone right now. But yeah, so I flew back. I've been home for, I don't know, 2 weeks now? 3? 2 or 3. Time is, I don't know. I'm not keeping track of time really. And I have looked so bad at my online classes. It is ridiculous. This is actually the first time I've done my hair. The first time I've been doing my makeup. Just looking good. All last week, I attended every single one of my Zoom classes online in the same white hoodie because I did not shower all last week. And I know that's so gross, but I just have no motivation to really groom myself. When I was in New York, my building that I live in, my dorm has a gym, so I would go to the gym, and I just feel like there's no point in doing things to make me feel and look better because I'm not going anywhere. So I've just been, which is really bad, I know. So it's taking a bit of a toll on me, but at least I am eating well, thanks to my mom. That's one thing. But yeah, it's very hard, all of this, just staying at home all the time. It's very, very hard. This is a tip. If you want that glossy lid without the stick, don't use lip gloss, use Vaseline. When I'm feeling lonely, sad as I can be. Quarantine and social distancing for people. You know, some people are separated from their loved ones. Some people feel like they have a loss of freedom. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now, especially surrounding this coronavirus. This new strand, COVID-19. People feel, sorry, I'm wetting my beauty blender. People feel uncertain. People feel scared. People feel angry. And all of these feelings are valid, but all of these feelings are also affecting their mental health in a negative way. And people are also bored. There's actually a study done in other countries that have already quarantined before, and I can't remember which country or countries it was, but certain countries that quarantined during the SARS epidemic, and SARS is severe acute respiratory syndrome, they saw that people who quarantined for 10 days or more saw a significant increase in PTSD symptoms. For all of those reasons above. I mean, you're literally at home all day. Since you're at home all day with all of this fear, all of these anxieties from everything and all the uncertainty, it actually showed that there are long-term effects of being quarantined, and that can lead to abusive behaviors such as alcohol abuse, which is terrifying to think about. And especially with this coronavirus, there's a lot of I hate using the word fake news, like I sound, but I mean, like, it's true. Like, I saw, I'm not gonna name the influencer, but I'm probably just gonna show them the screen if I can find it. I follow this one guy, he's a hairstylist, and he has a big platform. And I think the post is now deleted, but he posted something about corona that was just like, girl, this is obviously not real. But people don't know what to believe. So just because I can see the post and be like, duh, like, this isn't real, some people will take it as fact, and they're just gonna be like, and when those posts like that, when they see posts like that, and then they see what the news is saying and what other outlets are saying, it's so much conflicting information, and you don't know what to believe, which makes you uncertain and scared. Especially because this is such a global pandemic. You want to know what's happening, but if you are just confronted with all of these conflicting ideas, you don't know what's real and what's fake. And that can cause a lot of anxiety. Also, let's talk about finances. People I've heard are being laid off of work. Some people are filing for unemployment. Some people can't pay their rent right now, face maybe getting evicted. I mean, we're in such times where there's a big financial burden, and there's lots of financial distress, and that can lead to lots of mental problems. I mean, all of this stress, especially financial stress, is weighing on you. In addition to everything else, it's not good at all. It's not good for your mental health. If you're social distancing by yourself at home and you don't live with other people, even if you do live with other people, you can live with your immediate family and still feel feelings of isolation. And these feelings of isolation lead to things such as poor sleep, depressive symptoms, lack of hygiene. I mean, shit. And this is a conversation I don't really hear. I mean, all I'm hearing on social media, at least on my timeline and on my feed, is to stay home, which obviously I'm posting that too, because, like, stay home. But we need to also talk about how staying home like this affects your mental health and ways to occupy and distract yourself from all of the negative thoughts that might be so clear and more like in your head now. How am I saying this? All of these negative thoughts that seem more persistent, especially because you don't have the distractions of your daily routine. You don't have the distractions of regular structured, like going outside to school or to work or something. You don't have these distractions like you usually had, so now you need to fill it with different distractions. And now we're gonna go on ways to deal with this. The first way that we can deal with this quarantine impacting our mental health in negative ways is the media and the government need to provide people with as much information. I'm just going to use the coronavirus because that's what we're dealing with right now, but as much information about the coronavirus as they possibly can from reliable sources. Because if we don't know what's going on, that's going to just lead to more fear and anxiety, and that's horrible. So you need to be, first of all, the media needs to provide us with the media needs to provide us with all of this information, and we need to make sure that we're consuming this information. But also, that's also kind of like a double-edged sword, because some people, this frightens them, and it's always good to stay aware, because like I said, you need, for a lot of people, knowing the facts and knowing what's happening clears up confusion. And if you're not confused about what's going on You don't have as much like fear and anxiety. But then sometimes some people, especially if you're like on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff, all you hear is the coronavirus. So at the same time, yes, it's good to be aware of what is happening, but also know yourself and know your limits. You can't be staring at CNN for 24 hours a day. That's just gonna give you even more anxiety. So please just know yourself and just find things to distract yourself too. I'm sorry, that's like honestly the biggest piece of advice. And I'm not like a medical professional. I'm literally just some 19-year-old girl. But yeah, I cannot stress enough the importance of staying occupied. And I know sometimes that could be hard. But yeah, you have to stay occupied as much as you can. And find things that give you joy during this time. Watch a series, a TV show, watch some movies. I watched this movie called What Happened to Monday. Great film, I recommend that. But also don't feel like, because there's a lot of people on like Twitter and Instagram, they're just like, I'm gonna learn a new skill. I'm gonna come out of this quarantine a whole new person, which if you can do, please do. Yeah, take up a new skill, like learn a master class, but even the act of just getting out of bed and taking a shower, grooming yourself is enough. Just please be healthy. That's all I really ask for. Yeah, don't feel like you're wasting all of this newfound time that you have because all you do is literally just like cook meals for yourself or like just shower, but just please just shower and eat, please. Yeah, but if you have the means to learn a new skill, please. I mean, that's not a bad idea at all. And please avoid unhealthy habits. And I know a lot of what I say is gonna be easier said than done, but that's all I can really stress is just taking care of your basic needs over anything. Please don't fall into self-harm or like heavy substance abuse or anything like that during this time. Please just fill your time with things that you love that distract yourself from all of these anxieties that you may have during all of the uncertain things we don't know about the coronavirus or anything like that. And just take it one day at a time. Like I said, it's easier said than done, but that's all I can really say. Also, I know a lot of people are using the terms social distancing, isolation, and quarantine interchangeably, but there actually is a difference. So social distancing is, I'm just gonna read my notes. So social distancing is for everyone. It keeps people from interacting closely or frequently enough to spread an infectious disease, while quarantine separates and restricts the movement of people who have been exposed to a contagious disease to see if they become sick. And isolation prevents the spread of an infectious disease by separating people who are sick from those who are not. Now, like I said, I was talking about, I brought up fake news and how that causes like anxiety to people and shit like that earlier. But here are two sources that are reliable if you want to learn more about this corona outbreak and stay up to date. We have the CDC, or the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. You can go to cdc.gov.com. You can go to cdc.gov and you can call the number, which will be on the screen. And we also have the World Health Organization, and you can go to WHO.int/EN for English speakers, and also the number on the screen. And I can't in good conscience make this video without providing some hotlines. A good one is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, or SAMHSA, 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 that's what I'm gonna call it. And there's a lot, so I'm just gonna show it on screen and you can pause it, please. But you can call them the Disaster Distress Helpline, the National Helpline, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, the Treatment Locator, and the Disaster Technical Assistance Center. And I know I just spent this entire video talking about the, I guess, negative impact of social distancing, but I do want to make sure that no one gets my message twisted. Stay home and practice social distancing, because I think even though it might suck, and I think, fuck, I didn't clean this off, but even though it might suck, we have to remember why we're doing this. It's for the greater good. We need to stop the spread of corona, okay, please. Oh, before I forget, I also want to shed light on people who are forced to social distance and self-quarantine with abusers. I know this is not a good time for you. Also, please think about hitting up those hotlines that I mentioned earlier. And my prayers out to you. The lighting in here sucks, so I'm probably just gonna insert like a selfie of this look so you can really like appreciate it. But yeah, if you can, please stay home. Stay home. Stay home. Please, if you have any other tips and tricks on how to distract yourself and take care of yourself during this time while we're social distancing, yes, please comment that below. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe. And I hope everyone really takes care of themselves.